Hey, hey, hey! We're gonna be reacting to Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson was awful by yours truly, Moist Critical, YouTube Jesus, basically. And we're gonna see what he has to say. Uh, I like his opinions. I like to see what he thinks about certain stuff. So, I kind of saw clips of the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, 60 years old versus almost 30-year-old. I don't even know how old Jake Paul is, but he's pretty young. So it was kind of unfair to begin with, but it is what it is. But let's see what Charlie has to say.
I said I wasn't going to do it. I swore I wasn't going to talk about this. I made a solemn vow on stream that not even Batman could beat this conversation out of me, but it's going to leave my lips because I can't take it anymore. This is worse than the torture Jack Bauer put his terrorists through. People keep emailing me and asking me, what did I think about the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight? The reason I didn't want to talk about the fight and the reason I was so adamant that I wouldn't be talking about the fight while it was going on during stream is because it's just boring. It was extremely
Yeah,
lackluster, and that was an
very.
extremely predictable thing to see from a mile away. Now, apparently, the undercard fights that preceded the main event were extremely good, so hats off to all the fighters that really put their best foot forward and delivered an incredible performance in the middle of this fucking circus. I have said since the very day this was announced that it was a pathetic endeavor. I thought that this would only end in underwhelming, disappointing disaster. And it only got worse when Mike Tyson suffered a medical emergency and nearly died like 4 months before this fight even happened, which caused it to be
Yeah,
pushed back in the first place.
true.
It is stupid. I thought it was a horrible concept for a fight. I didn't even watch it. I was streaming Dark Souls 3 through the whole thing and getting updates from chat about how horrible it was to watch, what a giant waste of time and scam it was, and I still was provided with a real-time analysis round by round, and my god, even just reading the cliff notes was sad and lame. Like, it would have been more thrilling to be getting updates at bingo night, hearing about the senior citizens bingo cards. It was just
Yeah.
sad. Like, it would have been a more thrilling fight to watch me put my head up someone's butt to fight for air. It's just, from the very
Bro,
beginning,
his
I said there
analogies
would be
are
no knockouts in this
amazing.
fight. I was very, very firm in that prediction. And there was no knockouts in this fight. Not only was there no knockouts, there was no anything worthwhile. As I said from the beginning, this is just a cash grab. It is two athletes getting a payday and nothing else. And
Bro,
from the high
didn't they get like millions? I swear they got like millions. I would say like upwards of 10 mil probably. That's crazy that you can get that much money for a boxing match. Granted, it's Mike Tyson, so of course, and granted, it's Jake Paul, so of course. But still, like that's a lot of money. Where's that money even coming from? That's ridiculous.
highlights, using that word real loosey goosey, that I watched of it, there wasn't even really much of a fight there. Mike Tyson is nearly 60 years old. He is a legend, but he's also a man. And there is no man that can beat Father Time. Time is undefeated and it always will be. And there are certain
Except for LeBron James.
things that as you age, you just can't overcome in a physical sense like this. Honestly, I'm very impressed that Mike Tyson was able to even go the distance in this fight to actually finish it because he was gassed really early from what I can tell. He ran
Hmm.
out of steam by like the second round almost entirely from at least from what I've picked up on. Again, I didn't watch it live, but from everything I'm seeing, it seemed like he was completely out of energy, needed to construct additional pylons. Like there were no resources left, yet he hung on and still absorbed like 200 punches from Jake Paul. So really, hats off to Mike Tyson for that and overcoming all of
Mhm.
the obstacles that he did to even fight in this event. It really is extraordinary, to be honest. It was never realistic to expect him to come out there and be the Mike Tyson that everyone remembers from the glory days. It was always going to be an incredibly difficult challenge to fight someone as young as Jake Paul. I am not surprised that Jake won this fight. And people are already clowning on him for it, saying that he's already booked his next fight against Joe Biden and then his following
Lamo.
fight against Jimmy Carter. Jake Paul hurts more elderly people than a staircase. He's built a reputation of just challenging
That's
out of
crazy.
their prime fighters, retired fighters, sometimes not even fighters. I wouldn't be shocked if Jake Paul called out my father, saying that he's bad at iRacing and he wants to prove it by getting in the boxing ring with my dad. I
That's
know
funny.
everyone, including myself, was saying this is a lose-lose for Jake because even if he won, he would still get laughed at for it, which he is, rightfully so. But if he lost, he would get laughed at for that too, for losing to a nearly 60-year-old man. But now it's pretty clear it wasn't a lose-lose. It was a win-win.
Hmm.
Two winners, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. They both got like $20 million each for this. And you know who ultimately
20 million? Bro, I might be in the wrong profession. Bro, I need to go box. I need to go. Granted, I mean, you are kind of putting your life on the line in a way. Um, you know, taking punches and stuff. Yeah, no, I don't really want to do that. Uh, that's tough though. 20 mil. That's crazy.
got put in a losing position, a little checkmate? Everyone who watched it. Everyone who spent their night waiting for something extraordinary to happen with Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I am surprised at how popular this was. I am shocked that people bought into the hype again. This is a classic how many times do I have to teach you this lesson moment. Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Like all of these fights like this, where it's YouTuber versus legend,
Hmm.
are always underwhelming. I
Yeah.
also speculated that this fight, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, had a no knockout clause. I still think I'm probably right on the money with that. This truly was just about getting a bag. I don't think there was ever the desire for Jake or Mike to knock the other out, so I think it was probably even written into the contract to maybe not go hog wild in the fight or anything.
Yeah.
But of course, that's just a conspiracy theory. That's fucking tinfoil condom shit from me there. Not that it really matters. At the end of the day, this was never about a fight. It was always about a payday for both of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, congratulations to them. They definitely made a pretty penny off of this. Maybe next time when Jake Paul announces his next opponent, when he digs up the corpse of Muhammad Ali and challenges it to a fight, maybe then people will be like,
That's
maybe
funny.
I'll sit this one out.
Yeah.
I've been disappointed plenty of
Yeah.
times now with these big YouTuber fights.
Like imagine Jake Paul fighting like a Muhammad Ali like zombie and oh, that'd be funny, bro. Yeah, I don't know why he keeps like honestly for an easy record to get easy wins cuz fighting the elderly, especially like when you're at your prime as Jake Paul is, like of course he's going to have an easier time to rack up wins now just by challenging challenging old fighters or old people in general. Um, and he's dodged the question of why don't you fight actual fighters? Why don't you fight actual fighters your age, your weight class, whatever the term is, and he avoids it, or he insults the person who asks the question. And well, he just doesn't. He doesn't want a real challenge. He just wants to go the easy route. It seems by challenging uh all these retired fighters and even people who don't even know how to box or aren't boxers, I guess.
Maybe this is the one that I'll finally skip on. Because right now, this is just an infinite money glitch right here. Jake Paul has made so much doing this same thing. And you think he gives a shit that people make fun of him for challenging retired fighters?
I don't think he cares.
Absolutely not. He doesn't care at all because it
Yeah.
draws a crowd every time. And even if you hate him for it, you're still watching. And that's putting tons of doubloons in his pockets. And he knows that playing the villain is extremely lucrative because it gets people invested. They want to see him get knocked out, and he plays with that, and he makes a lot of money off that. So people will be cheering for whoever he goes up against. When Jake Paul announces that he's fighting the ghost of Christmas past next week,
Lamau.
people will tune in hoping that this will be the time that, the dildo of justice rarely comes lubed and it's coming at Jake raw. It's going to be the time he gets knocked out, and I can't wait to see it. And it probably won't, because Jake is a good fighter, and he is fighting people that don't actively fight anymore. When he did fight someone that does still actively fight, he lost. And I'm going to make another prediction here.
Before that, I think if he were to actually fight KSI, I think that's the reason why he's not fighting KSI is because he's afraid. Like he's afraid that because KSI is actual competition and not like a retired fighter, uh, he's not gonna fight KSI. Now, who would win in that fight? Honestly, I don't know. I don't really. I wouldn't say I have a favorite in that in that competition, Jake Paul or KSI, because yeah, Jake Paul is a good fighter. He seems to be taking it really serious. KSI has a lot of ego, but honestly, kind of for the better. Like it makes sense why KSI has an ego, and I mean he backs it up with with his fights. KSI's last fight, um, where I believe he lost, he should have won. KSI should have won that fight, um, or not should have, but he did win that fight. But I don't know, he got robbed, I guess. So yeah, I think that KSI really is like the main opponent to Jake Paul, and Jake Paul doesn't want to take that fight because he knows that it's a real challenge.
I don't think he's going to make that mistake again. I don't think he's going to challenge any more active fighters. That's a bold prediction because he's going to be farming this for quite some time. I think he will continue to choose huge names and nothing else. Huge names that people will recognize to draw a crowd to tune in to the latest fucking wet fart of a fight that he puts on. So there you go. There's the whole enchilada on my thoughts of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I'm very happy I didn't watch it live. That would have made me actually mad, especially considering how bad the broadcast apparently was. That's a totally separate subject. So I was reading some of the complaints from people. Like after I watched the highlights, I was reading from like some articles that were posted about like the Netflix issues that they were experiencing. How do you fuck that up so bad? This was a massive event for Netflix, and they definitely fumbled it in a big way. But maybe that could be spun as a blessing in disguise because maybe there's people that were watching it, but the broadcast was so bad they turned it off. You saved yourself a headache. You saved yourself some time because you didn't miss anything by turning the fight off. Maybe you went to bed a little early because of that. You got some extra slumber and you're feeling a lot more recharged today. So Netflix's blunder may have been to your benefit, at least some viewers out there. Though I do think Netflix should probably get that shit together for the next time they try and do a massive streamed broadcast. Because hooey, from what I've read, that was not smooth at all, huh? Anyway, though, that's really about it. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's that is the outcome, and I mean, I can kind of agree with him on this video. Like, bro, it was. It didn't seem like a good time. It didn't seem like it was worth your pennies, So, yeah, but hopefully, hopefully we get some actual good fights in the future with other creators, because like at this point, Jake Paul, all he's doing is just getting money. At this point, he's not really doing it for the entertainment. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really have any other opinions. So that's gonna be it for me. Comment down below what else I should react to, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.